What's up everyone, Alan Morrow here and welcome to this video. Today I want to show you a little cool technique that you can use to create sort of like intro lead patterns for your tracks. It's really good if you're sort of struggling for patterns in terms of your intro leads or any sound for that matter. They're great for sort of adding some sort of background sort of drive to your track or using them to kind of introduce sounds in your track as well. So before we get into the video, if you are looking for tips and tricks like this for your trance productions, then be sure to hit that subscribe and notification bell so you can be notified for all future videos. And if you are looking for more in-depth tutorials, then be sure to head over to alanmorrowstudios.com, where there's plenty of start to finish courses, in-depth tutorials on mixing, mastering, creativity and stuff like that, as well as MIDI samples and templates and stuff like that to help you with your trance productions. So let's get into the video. Okay, so what I've got here is a kick and bass. This is actually a kick and bass that I created within a tutorial. So if you are wanting to check out how this is created, you can do that by following the either link below or looking at the tutorial on the screen there. That's the one on the website. But I'll let you have a little listen to this first so you can see what we're playing with. The reason why I've got this kick and bass on the screen is so that the technique that I'm about to use has got some sort of context behind it and show you kind of how it works in a track. So let's just play this first. Okay, so kick and bass there. Now, what I've got here is I've got a pluck. It's a very simple one-note pluck on the F. The F is, the reason why I've chosen the F is because I'm using the root note of my bass as an F. You can use other notes if you want, but I'm just going to use this F here. So what I've got is a simple pluck. Very simple pluck there. That's actually clipping a little bit, so I'm just going to bring it down. Let's give ourselves a bit more headroom. So one-note pluck there. Now what I've got is I've got a delay on there. Now, the purpose of this delay, don't have to use this delay, you can use any delay you want. I've turned the delay off the original synth sound, and you'll see why in a second. But the purpose of this delay is to add some groove after that initial hit. So if I play this, just creating some sort of nice hits there after it. And as I say, you don't need to use this delay, any delay you want. You just want the delay to continue on for quite a while afterwards, and you'll see why in a minute. And then what I've got is another delay after it. So I've introduced another delay to create a little bit more sort of movement and groove through that pluck hit. Now, you want to make sure when you're doing this that you're not causing any phasing issues like that. So have a play around and see what kind of works for your track. So now I've got this kind of nice little groove after that pluck. So what I can do from here is I can now bounce this down. And I now have this pluck sound here. So if I just play this for you a second. So it's the same thing again. Now what you can do with this is you can pick sections of this to loop. You know, and depending on the groove that you've got and your track, you're going to want to obviously have a bit of a play around, making sure that you've got some sort of nice groove from this. This is just an example here, obviously, but you obviously spend a bit more time than I have there. So you can pick a section that sounds quite nice and got a nice bit of groove and drive to it. That sounds pretty good. So I'm just going to cut this down. So another listen to make sure that's right. And as I say, you can pick different sections and see what works best. What I'm actually going to do is going to duplicate this. I'm going to try both of those two sections, I think. So the first one was this one. And then that's 4 beats, sorry. And then this is, so let's try both of them. So what I now have is this little sound. I'm just going to zoom in here and I'm just going to put a little fade on there so it doesn't click or anything like that. And now I'm just going to play this. I'm going to turn the original one off. What I have now, I'll probably bring it down a little bit. It's probably going to be a bit too loud. I'm going to bring this down. So what I can now do is mix this in a little bit better. So I'll send it back in the mix a little bit. Take a bit of that low off. And let's have a little listen to it with the rest of the track. Now let's add a bit of sidechain to it, just so it grooves a little bit better with the track. Let's try the other one, see if that other pattern's better. So duplicate that again, just drag that one there, and let's have a little listen to this one as well. And you can obviously play around with how far back in the mix you want it. You could send another sound through it, for example. Let's just have a little play. I think that groove on that one's a bit better, so I'll get rid of that one. Again, I'm just showing you the technique. You'd spend more time making sure that the groove's a little bit better than this, but let's go back to it and see what else we can do here. So if I now say pick a different pluck sound, can maybe use something like this, for example. Make it a bit more prominent. Let's try changing the delay time or delay. Let's try that. Let's see what we can get from this. So again, control bounce that down in place. Let's have a little look what's going on here. See what we can do with the loop. That for some reason, I think what's happened there. 1 second, let me just do that again. Control B, turn the normalize off a sec. I was wondering why it was much louder. 1 sec. 1 second, I've got to actually start it at the start of the pluck. Let's try a different pattern. That when it was loud, it didn't sound too great. So let's just try again. Let's try something a bit different. Let's try this one. Control bounce that down. And again, let's pick a nice little part to it. So you can get some nice sort of effects going. You could change the note from an F, whatever you want to do. So let's just bring this down again in the mix. And the plucks that I've got on there are pretty dry. So once we've done this, you can then add your own delays. Sorry, not delays, reverb. So let's have a little look. Let's just add a bit of reverb to it. We've got these two playing. It's probably a little bit too high up for my liking, but you get the idea. Whatever goes into it is going to come back out. So let's just pitch this down. And you can obviously have these kind of like filtering in and out with a filter or something like that. But I thought this was sort of nice to sort of add a bit of ear candy in the background. As I say, if you've got an intro pluck playing later on, you could use it to sort of introduce that in some way, shape or form. But yeah, I hope this has helped you. As I say, experiment, play around, see what sort of grooves you can get from your delays and stuff like that. And yeah, I hope this video just helped you. If you haven't yet done so and you'd like to get tips like this sent directly to your inbox, then be sure to check out the AM Studios trance production community. You can do that using the link also in the description, and I'll also leave a link on the screen here for you to check that out. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in the next video.